You don't raise your children the way we do. I mean, a 9-year-old boy in Gaza is more of a man than a 25-year-old in America. You prolong adolescence to an absurd degree. You don't prioritize maturity. But at the same time, you sexualize your children very early. I mean, you've got like third graders twerking, and singing explicit song lyrics, and then you put that on social media for everyone to see. You're teaching kindergartners about sex, masturbation, about homosexuality and transgenderism. You think that prepubescent children can decide to have their genitals removed before they even know what they're actually for. You put little girls in beauty contests and try to turn them into, miniature Beyoncés and Cardi B's singing about WAP. I mean, 12%, I saw a study, 12% of 12-year-olds in the U.S. are already sexually active at 12. Now, 6.5% of them had actually already engaged in anal sex by the age of 12. The majority of sex offenders in the West victimize children, and they say about 90% of sexual assaults on children are never even reported. So imagine what the real numbers are. No, you have a pedophilia problem in the West. And no matter how much you wish you could, you can't shift that over to us. We're not going to help you justify your sickness.
The Western world lacks culture. I don't agree with everything in Islam, but I agree with what this man is saying, man. The Western world lacks culture.
Say, bro, I ain't even gonna hold you. Everything this man just said is some real shit, man. Boys across seas who grow up in places where you have to be a man, they grow up and they develop and they mature a lot faster. A lot of these men, they got this one little kid I've been seeing on the internet. He been out thinking and out logicking a lot of grown women and men. And I know he's young and he seems to be of, I would say, Middle Eastern descent. At least culturally, he seems like that. But, what he just said, a 12-year-old being more manly than a 25-year-old over here is a real thing. They got 12-year-old boys across seas who have real life responsibilities and they understand the severity of their actions. If they don't do X, Y, and Z, then this doesn't happen for my family. This doesn't happen for me. And they have a grasp on that at a young age of 12. He is spitting facts. And they don't teach all of this toxicity to their boys and to their girls, all of the explicit lyrics and stuff that you see kids over here singing. That ain't going down over there like that because they still stick to their tradition, to their religion, to their central dogma. It's all there. They're not going to sit up here and just let the West have an influence on them like that. That's what real men do. Straight up, right or wrong, we going to stick to what we've been knowing and what's been working for us throughout the millennium.
Now, that's some real shit, y'all. You know what I'm saying? I hope y'all learned something from this video. You got to understand that the way the kids are here in America is really not their fault. This conspiracy runs deep. And that's the reason why if you had a choice to learn something in life, let's say if somebody offered you a choice to study history or to study conspiracy, I would suggest you pick conspiracy. And the reason why, because when you study conspiracy, you will then begin to realize that your own enemy is in your own house. And I ain't talking about like house as far as where you live at. I'm talking about the world that you live in, as far as America. If you're from America, you know what I'm saying, or any other country, but I'm really specifically talking about Americans. Like, we really think that this world, being in America, is really, really great. But people have no idea that it's not. It really, don't get me wrong. We have better opportunities to get the bag and, But damn that shit. If you gang stalked and you're a targeting individual, that just knocks that all out the box right there. Even though I still have opportunities, right? I'm still, doing my thing and still doing my thing to manifest this money. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, there is a lot of entities that's out to hinder and create stumbling blocks to stop me from being successful. But it's my duty to not allow that to happen. You see what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is, let me not get off the point. What I'm saying is, growing up here in America is really, sinful. Because like the man has said in the video, this America, I'm just going to say this world, like excluded, like as if America is its own world, which I believe it is, because even people in other countries got way more sense than the motherfuckers over here. So like the dude said in the video, He said, this guy right here, he said that we live in a pedophilia world. You know what I mean? Paraphrasing, you know what I'm saying? But it's true. Like these people over here, it's so hypocritical because the same people that controls this matrix, this laboratory matrix system that we're in, they promote pornography, they promote child molestation, they promote homosexuality from man to female. You know what I'm saying? You know, as you see the world today, you see there's a lot of masculine women and there's a lot of feminine men out here. We got a lot of soy boy, frog boys out here. You know what I mean? And this is all done by what? Conspiracy. This is something that's really being done, but it's being created. See, you was led to think that, oh, it's just the way it is and time is changing. No, fuck that. They're creating this shit. They created this Holocaust that we're in. And then you got these people out here that's caught up in homosexuality or pornography and stuff like that. And they get arrested and booked and thrown away in the prison cell for 60 years when you created that monster. You created that motherfucker to want to be with kids, that grown-ass man or that grown-ass woman or whatever gender. You know, we talking about somebody that's old enough to be somebody's parent, whether it was a father or a mother. And this shit is really, really happening here in America. And probably other places too, but we talking about America right now. The child molestation is crazy. And you hear what my man had said in the very beginning. He was like, we was talking about the statistics, the ratio of how many people has been traumatized by being molested. I think he said 90%, but he was like, well, we really, really don't even, he said, you know, it's more if we really, really find the number for real, for real.
You prolong adolescence to an absurd degree. You don't prioritize maturity.
And that right there is so true. He said, you prolong adolescence. That is so true because in other countries, when a child comes out, they automatically teaching them real grown shit. But if you try to teach, like when I try to tell my mom to, you know, make her grandkids read and stuff, you know what she tells me? Well, they still young. They got plenty of time. And I find that shit so absurd for her to even say that. Like, as if you don't know like that really did just let you know that, you know, just because a motherfucker is old, that don't mean they know shit. What the hell you mean we got a lot of time? You know damn well that this matrix is so crazy and that time is just an illusion because you could be 15 today and wake up 45 years old on some bum shit. You know what I'm saying? DMX said that in one of his songs. He was like, you woke up 40 years old on some bum shit. Time flew by. So you already know that, you know, time ain't forever. You don't have, you know, time is basically working against us, I guess. Because we don't have time. That's the problem right now. People think we got time. I can still remember when I was 9, 10 years old eating now laters. Now I'm a grown-ass man with 2 daughters. See, you see what I'm saying? So shit flies by fast. Shit flies by fast. So my point is what I'm saying about the adolescent situation. He said you prolong your children into adolescence for too long, which is true. You allow your children to be babies at the age of 25. Your children should be speaking another language at 9. You know what I'm saying? Like we need to, especially in this day and time, since we got all this technology. But we're not forcing that on our kids. We so worried about what you got on, what type of clothes you're wearing, how you look, you got your hair done, and all that dumb shit that don't matter. It don't mean anything. My daughter, my 13-year-old daughter, got her fucking nails done. I said, yo, why do you fucking have your nails done? I said, you know how much money you can save? If you start saving right now, and by the time you 18, 19, man, you be able to drive in a nice ass car. You know, so you'll at least be able to have some money and have a nice ass car. And I'm trying to school her, but see, she's around her mother. She's not around me. So The damage has already been done. She's already been programmed. You got to understand, the child is being programmed the moment he come out the womb. You're being programmed the moment you come out the womb. And within that first 5 years of that brain activity, you already adapted to whatever environment you're in. Whether if you in the ghetto, in the suburbs, whatever, it all depends on your parents and how they raising you. Within that first 5 years, the clone has been already created. So either you're going to be a business person or a consumer. And my daughters have been basically programmed to be consumers. You know what I'm saying? Because they got to keep up with the Joneses. They got to keep their hairs done, their nails done, their toes, and all this stupid shit, buying all these clothes and shit, getting other people rich, while at the end of the day, you getting poor. But people don't, but what I'm saying, it doesn't resonate with the people. They don't get it. They still call you crazy. You know what I mean? They just they just seem to don't understand. Remember Will Smith? Parents just don't understand. Well, it's the same way with this goddamn kid. The kids just don't understand. I wish I had somebody when I was coming up at 9, 10 giving me game like this. I didn't have nobody around me. That's the reason why I made the mistakes that I made. Because there wasn't nobody around me schooling. You got to school these kids. If you don't school them the right way, then they bound to fail. They bound to fail. So, I mean, it's people in China, fucking kids 9, 10 years old speaking English. They know Chinese, they know English, they know Japanese, whatever. They got different language, different native tongues that they can use. And I find that amazing, you know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, we all know this shit. We just suffered amnesia, so now we gotta relearn. It's like when Spence got into the car accident, he had to go through therapy to relearn how to walk and, get back in shape and hit the bag again, you know what I mean? You gotta, and that's like a metaphor what I'm using about when we come down to this matrix. We're gods, you know what I'm saying? We come down to this bitch, we incarnate, whatever you want to say. We incarnate down this bitch. But we get our minds swiped to the point where we don't fucking remember who we are. So, but it's all just for experience. It's just a physical. That's what this life is all about. It's just all for an experience. You know what I mean? For you to be God and come down this bitch and forget who you are and live a regular normal life working at a damn convenience store or some shit. And you God. I mean, you just think about that. Just really, really think about that. If you really, really know who you are, you be like, why the hell am I working at this damn store? But you're just doing it just for a physical experience. But it's all about tapping in. That's what it's all about. It's all about being down this bitch and tapping into your true self. So that way you can take over this matrix, man. And that's the reason why they do their best to dumb us down. Because they don't want you taking over. Because once you tap into who you are, you take over this bitch. And you be like jumpers, like the movies being able to jump around, and you ain't even gonna need no damn passport. The fuck you need a passport when I'm a jumper? I can go ahead and jump to Egypt right now and jump out of this bitch and be in London just like that. Like that's real shit right there. That's real technology right there. The mind. The mind is the real technology. You know what I'm saying? If you seen the movie Jumpers, I suggest you watch that. But it's mad movies that they give us, that they tell us who we are. And here it is in that movie Jumpers. The bull found that out when he was in school. I think it was middle school. It was like middle school. I think it might have been like 6th, 7th, 8th grade or some shit. And he found out he had the gift to jump. So he had to practice on it. You know what I mean? So we have these skills. They just don't want you to know that because they want to keep you as an energy source so they can feed off you. Just like bed bugs and fucking mosquitoes. They want to suck your blood all day. All day. You know what I mean?
But at the same time, you sexualize your children very early.
Very early.
I mean, you've got like 3rd graders twerking, and singing explicit song lyrics, and then you put that.
And you put that on Facebook, and that's so true. Because years ago, my baby mom had took my younger daughter, to this. She was doing this dance class and, dancing like the world. But this when she was younger. I think she might have been like 7, 8 years old. And thank God. The reason why I ain't say nothing because I was looking on the positive side note of it. I was just looking at least she's being active. Because that was my main thing. I was like, yeah, she's doing this worldly dance and stuff that I'm not approving of. Even though I love dancing, you just don't want to see your daughter doing it. You know what I mean? But I went along with it because at least she was being active, and I want my daughters to be active. But now she don't dance no more. Now she, lazy and getting chubby and shit like that. And that right there was really the biggest fear, if quote unquote, I would say. You know what I mean? I'd rather for her to dance, at least she'll be in shape. Because dancing is an exercise, you know what I'm saying? For those that know, you got to be in physically good shape to be able to dance real good. You do.
That on social media for everyone to see. You're teaching kindergartners about sex, masturbation, about homosexuality and transgenderism.
Right. And you already know they doing that.
Prepubescent.
You already know they doing that. They programming the kids, the youth, man, the babies. It's okay to be a transgender. Yeah, just confusing the hell out of them. Welcome to America.
Children can decide to have their genitals removed before they even know what they're actually for.
Ain't that some
We
shit?
put little girls in beauty contests and try to turn them into, miniature Beyoncés and Cardi.
And that's so true, because you know those modeling joints that they had those little beauty contests. I don't even know they still have them. They got these little girls dressed up like little women and shit. What kind of, and then you creating pedophiles. You got these motherfuckers over here masturbating, looking at these little kids. Oh my God. You know what I'm saying? Getting it on. You creating this shit. You advertise these commercials with diapers. Got little babies running around with diapers. All that shit is all like basically pedophilia pornography, dog. That's what it is, man. It's all done by design. To plant bullshit in your mind. Because they know that people are sick out here because they made them sick.
Be singing about WAP. 12%, I saw a study, 12% of 12-year-olds in the U.S. are already sexually active at 12. Now, 6.5% of them had actually already engaged in anal sex by the age of 12.
6.5.
The majority of sex offenders in the West victimize children. And they say about 90% of sexual assaults on children are never even reported. So imagine what the real numbers are.
Well, shit. Because I thought he said 90%. So what the fuck? If it's 90%, you go ahead and just add the other 10. You know what I'm saying? You might just go ahead and slap that on it. 90% is a high-ass motherfucking ratio. So what the fuck? So all I'm saying is, man, is that this world is shit, America is Babylon, and this motherfucker need to sink. It really do. This is a sick-ass world. It's a sick-ass world. People getting kidnapped and abducted every day. They organ harvesting people. There's a lot of sick shit that's going on. And then here it is. You still got these motherfucking Christian people and these motherfucking Islamic people still waiting on a God to come and stay. It's no way in the world you can't tell me if I'm fed up. And if you're not fed up, I don't know what the fuck is wrong with you. You need to be fed up. So you mean to tell me if I'm fed up and if you fed up and everybody fed up about this atrocity that's happening down here on this planet, and God with all this fucking magical power is sitting on this fucking throne looking at this shit saying, well, I'll be down there one day. Man, get the fuck out of here. You got to be out your damn nugget to believe a dumbass story like that. I mean, Bobby Hemmings said shit. He said he got an ass whooping coming. All this time I'm up here going through this shit and you up here just watching. Think about the slaves that got hung on a tree. All this crazy shit that happened back in slavery times, even though we still in slavery time, it's just a different time. And there was a God up there all this time watching this shit go down. Just like this so-called God watched Jesus get crucified on the tree. While Jesus was running through the motherfucking woods talking about, Father, allow this cup to pass over me. Jesus didn't want to go through that shit. Y'all be thinking, oh, Jesus died for my sins. No, the fuck he didn't. He was running for his fucking life. Jesus ain't dying for your fucking sins. You got to die for your goddamn sins. Because it's your sins. Ain't no such thing as somebody dying for your fucking sins. Can one person die for everybody's sins of the world? Everybody got their own life to live. You know what I'm saying? You can't have somebody else pay your debt. I mean, you got to pay for that shit. You know what I mean, people, you don't think. People don't think logically. You don't study, you don't think, you just talk shit. That's it. You have no idea what this world is all about. And you can't tell me if a motherfucker say that, oh, they still don't believe that this is hell. Well, they still like in 6th grade on the spiritual realm or some shit. Like, if you don't see that this is hell by now, then yeah, you ain't been doing enough homework. You still left behind. This place ain't nothing but a fucking laboratory, dog. There's so much evil shit that's going on behind closed doors. You know what I mean? That to the point where you gotta research to find out what the fuck is really going on. Because if you're not researching, you have no clue what the fuck is going on. And then they brainwash you and they just tell you God is in control and God is doing all this madness. Well, who the fuck is this God then? Because this God is fucking up the planet. Just like they got people believing that the Maui situation with the fires, they got you believing that God did it. But you don't even know that your own government did it with the heart motherfucking machines that they got. But they want you to believe that God did this shit. And let's just say perhaps it was God. Would you still worship that motherfucker? Like, you gotta be out your damn mind. Why would you be worshiping somebody that's killing motherfuckers? And you down here crying and shit, praying to God that your ass don't get killed. But he gonna kill you too. Like, you're not thinking. This God is obviously your motherfucking enemy. But you don't want to believe that. Because you too pussy. You too scared.
No, you have a pedophilia problem.
That's what we have.
And no matter how much you wish you could, you can't shift that over to us. We're not going to help you justify your sickness.
The Western world lacks
He said,
culture.
we're not gonna help you justify your sickness.
Pedophilia problem in the West. And no matter how much you wish you could, you can't shift that over to us. We're not going to help you justify your sickness.
And that right there, man, that's real shit. We're not gonna help you justify it, you know what I'm saying? Look, we got to realize that this nation that we're in, which is America, is fucking sick. And if you don't see that, there's something wrong with you. You're a part of it. You one of them flunked out Mason motherfuckers that, that don't know shit. And they're going to use you as a goddamn battery to suck all your goddamn juice. Like a motherfucking goddamn bed bug. A nasty ass tick that just want to suck. Holla back, y'all. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. I don't even know what channel. I think this is going to probably go on Truth in Plain Sight. I ain't posted up there in a while. So share this video. Holla back.